Oh man, here we go again. It's been a long weekend. Yeah. So as soon as we could get some people on, we'll start. All right. Good night. All my followers, all my social media listeners and onlookers. Please, please, you guys be aware. You guys be aware at this particular time that your boy, one amazing Junky Junk, is going through something right now. But let me start it off anyway, man. I know I've been off this live for a couple of days, and I want to apologize to all the fans, all the followers, all the onlookers that are anticipating the results of what's going on with the ZP movement and what is transitioning at this point. But y'all know how I always start off, my lives, my interviews, and anything that I have to offer when I come on the jack or when I'm on social media. I like to first prostrate my will to the ancestors, right? Those ancestors being the Nile Valley ancestors. Our ancestors were responsible for some of the greatest civilizations that the world have ever witnessed. Those civilizations were predicated on the principles of Ma'at, which are further defined as truth, order, and righteousness. Once again, my name is Junky Junk, official ZP Soldier. And we've been having a series of things going on. In the hip hop industry, right? So what's the latest? The latest is we have a guy by the name of Ali Ho Adams. Ho. Now, let me reiterate. The H.O.E. Ho is only an acronym. The acronym spells out to be Haitian of Embarrassment. So like I said in my prior videos, the main focal point of most of my lives, most of my interviews and everything that I'm bringing forth, to the audience about, what's going on with Zoe Pound. So what's going on with Zoe Pound right now at this particular time, we have an imposter by the name of Ali Zoe Adams, who is awaiting deliberation on the trial that has been taking us a few weeks so far. As we know, it's a Vlad interview that's currently being aired, and Vlad seemed to have Ali Ho Adams on trial right now. And like I stated before, the theme of this trial is in regards to Ali Ho Adams. The theme of the trial is the worst fraud that was committed on the hip hop nation. So now what we're witnessing is a guy that took it upon himself to I'm not going to even say inherit a name. You have a guy who literally came into the hip hop culture. He masked himself as a Zoe Pound representative, the founder to be exact. And it was a series of things that went on during, his itinerary, During his reign, what we would call, it was a lot of things going on with this guy, And right now, the ripple effect, that it had on the hip hop nation was not a real good look, But in the meantime and in between time, this guy is on trial right now And we're just awaiting to see what the outcome is going to be. Like I also always tell y'all, it's me right now, but we who sit here on this platform only are here to share the truth with the people. We know a lot of people use this social media, Jack, as an outlet, for promotion. Some people got good intentions, others may not. But we know with everything in life, it's good and bad with everything in life. You know what I mean? So the only thing that's going on right now is that, like I told y'all, when I stepped onto this media platform, I felt that it was my duty and obligation, to come before the people and to clarify some things and to clean up the name of Zoe, because you had a lot of people that was out here basking in false glory. And a lot of people utilize the name for all the wrong reasons. But Zoe, as we stand, had no ill intentions. Whenever we came out as a group, it was only to manifest the works, the hard work, the ethics, the things that we had to endure in order to get on a platform and to allow the world to know what was our mission, why was we on our mission, and what were we trying to achieve as Zoes, as Haitians, as people that were looked at in the world as scum of the earth. But unbeknownst to the world, this group, these set of brothers that came together and joined forces and united to go on this mission and to allow people to actually look at them as a force to be reckoned with in the world was not an easy task. All right. So that's my mission right now. My mission as a Zoe official, right? As a Zoe brother, as a Zoe affiliate, it is my duty and obligation now in these days and time to vindicate the name of Zoe, because out of all the great things that Zoe was trying to represent, with all the chatter, with all, the BS that we heard about Zoe as a group and the misunderstanding of who we were as a group and what we were trying to accomplish, it has been misconstrued. So now it is my duty and obligation to cleanse, to clean, to clear, to fix the bullshit that Zoe has on its name that don't give us a good look. All right, we're going to pause on that for a minute. I've been off social media for a couple of days right now because I'm in mourning right now, right? I'm mourning a very good brother. I'm mourning a good friend. I'm mourning a real soldier. I'm mourning a person that had something for the world to hear. This brother had a story. This brother had a destiny. This brother had an aim. This brother had a goal. This brother had a purpose for the world, in this world. But the thing about it is, we can't question the Creator at all, right? We can't question the Creator. The Creator has its way of allowing us to understand that we really don't have it figured out. We as a human species in this world, in our daily endeavor, in a man's daily endeavor, man or woman, in a man's or woman daily endeavor is a quest for happiness. And as we live as we go through life, we try to find purpose, right? And when we find our purpose, we try to achieve, what we have to fulfill as a form of purpose in this world. So as we go along daily, going about taking care of our business, paying bills, taking care of family, loved ones. At the end of the day, in a man's daily endeavor, his quest is for happiness. So at this particular time, man, I wanna take the time out of this segment to commemorate, man, a legend, a friend, a brother, an innovator, a motivator, and at the end of the day, a real solid dude. So we just really lost another real one, my homeboy Lynwood. Let me tell you a little something about Lynwood. So during my incarceration, whenever I got to Coleman Institution, that was the institution where me and some of the homies, we had finally met back up from us being apart for so long, because some of the homies had done court time, and some of the homies had done passed away. Me, I had just got convicted of my charge. I was sent to Miami. From Miami, they transferred me to Coleman. At Coleman is where I met the other homies from the Zoe Pound, that was doing their bid at the time. When I got on the compound, you know how that goes, the paperwork thing, got to make sure the homies straight. And it was so crazy that even though, the homies knew, what junk was about and who I was, I'm talking about the homies, the ZP homies that was already doing time before I had caught my case. I met them boys at Coleman, and to my surprise, and I didn't trip about it, because I was already, I was 100, and I already knew that was the code. Once you come through, and you a real one, the homies got, we got to exchange paperwork, make sure, bro, you ain't, turn state on your case. And then when everything's clear, you get your little care package. The homies introduce you to everything that's going on the compound. So whenever I did land at Coleman medium, it was a beautiful thing, even though we was locked up, to have met back with some of the homies, my real homies that I hadn't had seen in a long time. Unfortunately, like, we was all, in the box. We was all locked up, Nonetheless, we felt, we still felt, we still felt that joy and that love, because we hadn't seen each other for so long. And, we happened to meet up at Coleman. But upon my arrival, I was met by the homies, and I was met by Lynwood, man. I didn't know Lynwood, from the street. I heard a lot about Lynwood, through the system, you know what I mean? So when I met the brother, what drew me to the brother firsthand was that whenever the homies got my paperwork, and I came, and they called me out to the yard. They got my paperwork, went to the unit. That's how it go. You come to the yard, you get your paperwork, you give them your paperwork, they give you theirs, You got a whole hour to go ahead through the paperwork, read the paperwork, check your homie out. And then on the next move, you got to come back out. Homies give you your paperwork back. They let you know, hey, yo, look, you good, you straight, paperwork good. You get your care package. Your care package consists of toothbrush, toothpaste, stuff that you don't have right then and there when you get on the compound, because you understand, when you transferring in the federal system, when you get on the compound, they only give you like your bedroll, They give you like some cosmetics and stuff, some institutional stuff, but your property, they got to go through your property. They got to search your property and stuff. So you don't have nothing when you come on the compound. You'll have to go to like R&D the next day after they search your stuff to get your property. So actually, when you come on the compound, especially if you come at night, like I came when the commissary is closed, you can't just go to the store and, you know, buy your necessities, you know what I'm saying? Deodorant, all that stuff, you know, traveling. You know, when you're going through transit in the feds, you know, you on the bus or you on the plane all day, you jumping in one plane and, you know, out one plane, in one, you driving, you know what I'm saying, those big old buses, you know, you cuffed up, you uncomfortable. So, you know, by the time you get to the compound, you ready to just hit a shower, hit the sack, and you done. But, you know, for the most part, when you land, you don't really got none. So your homies got to hit your hand till you get your property. So I say that to say this, you know, by the time I came out and got my care package, I encountered my homeboys and they was with Lynwood, you know, and they introduced, you know, Lynwood to me. They told me who Lynwood was. And automatically me and Lynwood caught eyes and Lynwood was like, damn, what size you wear, Pepe? You know what I'm saying? If you hear this dude, man, this dude sound like he won't bust a grape. I mean, he just had a low-pitched voice. You know what I'm saying? He was smooth dude, man. But little did you know, man, that dude that was standing right there before me, serious dude, straight soldier. You know what I'm saying? Gangster, you know what I mean? So me and him caught eyes and he looked at me and he was like, damn, Pepe, what size you wear? And I was 11 at that time. It's crazy. My foot looked like it growed like half an inch or something because I'm 12 now. But he took his shoes right off his feet and gave them to me, man. He was like, them yours. You know what I'm saying? And that meant a whole lot to me, man. Just firsthand, just meeting a dude and just off of him getting the word from my homeboys that, yo, his paperwork straight. You know, that's one of our original homies. You know, he good. Me and Lynwood got jammed, man. You know what I'm saying? Another thing I learned about this brother while I was doing time with him was, man, bro, this brother was so talented, man. Outside of him being a real soldier, man, I'm talking about this dude go hard. Like this dude, he was a dude, if he down with you, man, and he fucks with you, he fucks with you all the way, man. Meaning, if anything, if you got any problem, man, this man was he was willing to put his life on the line for you if he fuck with you and you're a real dude. And that's the type of bond me and him had built. You know what I'm saying? So we used to be on the compound every day. And I used to just watch how he move on the compound because, you know, him and the other homies, Thump and Nick, you know, them boys was already in the pens and shit. Them boys had done been the pens. Lynwood had done been the pens. Them boys had been wilding out through their bed. Because remember when all the homies had caught their time, you know, dudes had Buck Rogers numbers, meaning dudes had crazy bids, 30s and 40s and 25s and lives. Like, could you imagine at that time, man, being young dudes coming in their 20s, in their young adulthood with all that time, you know, dudes, dudes, dudes is going hard, you know what I'm saying, doing their time. You know what I mean? Because you know, when you go in and you young, you know, with that type of time, you can't really see no end date. You know what I mean? 20 some years, it feels like a, you know, eternity, you know, to some dudes mentally, you know what I mean? So, you know, dudes, you know, was wilding out, you know what I mean? In them pens, but at one particular time, I guess, you know, them pens was real violent. So, you know, a lot of dudes in the pen, you know, don't get it twisted. Like, you know, brother don't want to be in them type of environments. You know what I'm saying? Where, man, you got to sleep with your shoes on damn near. You got to always have your knife. When you go into the shower, damn near, it be riots. It be all kind of tension going on. So you got to kind of move in the code. So at that time, you know, when I met them boys, they had done kind of slowed down a little bit to get their custody low enough to come to a medium. So we were all at a medium facility. You know what I'm saying? Coleman, you know, don't get it twisted. Even though it was like a snitch camp, you had a lot of guys that was like snitching on that camp. They had programs. You know, it was a program-based joint to where if you going home, you got reentry programs. They had all kind of different programs in there, you know, for guys that's going to reenter into society. And, you know, the joint was sweet, but it was a lot of rats on that compound, too. A lot of rats. And that's how we end up breaking up. But let's focus on Lynwood, my homeboy, man, my G. You feel what I'm saying? I used to walk the compound with this, you know, with this brother. And man, like it wasn't one minute would go by. It wouldn't be 1 minute that would go by in the joint that Lynwood wasn't trying to hustle, wasn't trying to, you know, make something happen. You know what I'm saying? Still had that mentality, that goal mentality, that hustle mentality, man. This brother was so talented. This brother, he was a brother that had natural talent, that had a gift. God gave this brother a gift to draw, man. I mean, Lynwood would sit there and draw you like you. I'm talking about with no flaws. He would draw a portrait with no flaws. That was a hustle. You know what I'm saying? Lynwood was a guy, you got to understand, he come from up under JT Money them in that camp. So in the streets, Lynwood, you know what I'm saying, he was already like, and it's crazy that we all had like kind of like a hip hop background in some type of fashion. In some way, you know, like we were kind of, you know, connected to music or had a love for music. Because Lynwood, you know what I'm saying, as I got to know him and we used to speak and we used to have conversation, I used to always tell him about how we was doing our soul pound thing when we was out there and how far we had done got and how like the name had them preceded us, bro. Like, you know, we were on our mission. You know what I'm saying? We was doing everything that we were supposed to do at the time, and we was putting in major work, but we didn't even understand the effects of what we were doing. We didn't understand the effects that it was making. We didn't know that the impact was like preceding us. So by the time we was going to places and trying to, you know, promote and push, you know, the record, it was like, you know, we was bombarded with like, yo, you know, we already know who y'all are, blah, 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 Zopound, you know, just like with Break One, when we made Break One, before we did the song with Break One, the chef from the Woo, you know, this man actually had a source, and while we was talking about, you know, what we trying to do, he was like, yo, I think I heard of y'all boys, yo. We was like, yeah, we in the Source magazine, we from Little. He was like, yeah, that's where I saw it. Yo, y'all are legends. And it kind of motivated him to want to do, you know what I'm saying, something with us anyway, because he was like, yo, they famous. But anyway, me and Lynwood, we used to talk about, you know, the things that we were doing in the street as far as music goes. And man, you know, it was shocking to me that he had hip hop background. Lynwood was a guy who was like a background dancer, you know, for a group. He had ties to JT Money. JT Money is really one of his best friends. You know what I mean? When he got out here, I had the lounge. You know, we met back up from being incarcerated. We hooked back up out here, man. We was talking about the things that we had to accomplish. You know, I hired Wood as my chief of security, you know what I'm saying? Because Wood was the enforcer now. Well, Wood, boy, he was that dude now, mean dude with his hands. Man, bro, whatever, however you wanted to do it, knife fight, man, you could see, like, when you approach this brother, he had a humble, calm, good spirit. But when you looked him in his eyes and you just, you know, if you eyed him from head to toe, you could see deep down in his eyes, you know what I'm saying? The all the pain, the suffering, all the agony that he held within. You know what I'm saying? You could tell by his war wounds. You know what I'm saying? That man, boy, this dude, you could tell he done been there through that. You know, Lynwood had scars on his neck, you know, from one side to the other, and knife fights, you know, going in there, you know, as a G that he was, when he had a problem, he handled his problem head on, bro. He go at a dude, you know, unlike a lot of dudes, man. See, a lot of people got that Fed stuff messed up. A lot of dudes in the feds, even though they've been through the feds, and a lot of dudes had like real reputations when they was on the street. But when they got to them feds, when they got in that in that pen, you know, you minus the guns, you minus all the fame and glory you got, it's all about who you are now. there's a lot of people in the feds that got hell of a backgrounds. Dudes done got bread and been there, done that. But at the end of the day, when you in the feds, everybody look the same. We all got the same uniform on. You know, you don't know who's who and what's what. And you walking around dudes that's like dangerous, or dudes that was like somebody when they was out. And then you got a bunch of dudes that was like in the way too, because not everybody in the feds was selling dope, you know, or had something going on. So people get it misconstrued that dudes that go to the feds or came out of the feds, they was hell of a dudes. No, it's not like that. But my main man Wood, you know what I'm saying, he was a dude, serious dude. Back in the days, a lot of dudes know him. He a real CC representative, a goon from back in the days when shit was going hard. You feel me? He from the days when 15th Avenue, you know, in the city was the shit. And you know what I'm saying? He dealt with a lot of those big names that came out of Liberty City, you know what I'm saying? And he got his own little reputation out here for holding it down as a real dude. But I met him in the joint, and he became a brother to me, you know what I'm saying? Because we rode with all kind of dudes, you know what I'm saying, from our way when we was, you know, in prison together. When we was on Coleman compound, you know what I'm saying, we formulated our own little clique because we rolled a certain way, you know what I'm saying? We didn't deal with rat niggas. If you wanted to roll with us, you had to, you know what I'm saying, bring your paperwork. You had to be certified, you know what I'm saying? We had a code, bruh. And just because we was locked up and we was, you know, doing our time for things and crimes that we committed, you know, in the free world, we had done made it up in our minds that, bro, we here, you know what I'm saying? This is what we signed up for. You do your time and you go home. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we kept our little clique. And man, I tell you, Lynwood, he was very talented. Like I said, you know, as far as hip hop go, he was acquainted to JT Money. He was like a background dancer. And see, a lot of people think because, you know, if you a dude, especially, and you was a dancer or something like, you know, Disco Rick and the Dogs, you know, Miami is the city of booty shake music. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? That is our style of music down here in Miami. Miami is the home of booty shake. You got the Lukes, you got the JT Monies, and every dude, every artist from down here, if you paying attention when they do an album, even the Rick Ross, they're gonna do at least one song that is gonna contribute to like the booty shake, you know what I'm saying, style of music, because you know, that's a signature down here. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean that, you know what I'm saying, oh, they about that booty shake fast music like it's soft down here. Cause you got dudes, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they dance the booty shake music and all that. Dancing is an art, you know what I'm saying, that goes hand in hand with the music. But don't get it twisted. A lot of people thought that dudes that dance is like they on some gay stuff or they soft. But let me tell you something, bro. You got it twisted. If you was a dude that thought like that back in the days, that, oh, because a dude, you know what I'm saying, he's a dancer, you know what I'm saying, he's soft, you got it all wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's just part of the culture. And even today, if you look at it in the hip-hop culture now today, if you pay attention to Florida, if you pay attention to like Miami or the South Florida artists or the music, you'll understand that Miami got their own style of music. And as of today, like, you know, with the dancing, Miami, people from Miami, you know what I'm saying? As it pertains to hip hop, you're gonna always see like a new dance that come about. You know what I'm saying? Some freaky looking shit, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's some cool shit though, cause like one thing about Miami, y'all already know. Miami put a stain on hip hop. We bought a lot to hip hop. Y'all know Luke back in them days, you know, before dude had bras in their videos doing the nasty strippers, the big gold chains, that look, you know what I'm saying, that swag that Miami had. Y'all know Luke did it. So he was representing actually the Miami swag, you know what I mean? So, you know, with that being said, like, booty shaking was part of that. Dancing was part of that. So dudes do that. You know what I'm saying? Down here. And it's not considered no flaw or gay shit. You know what I mean? So I'm just elaborating on that because, you know, these are the talents that Lynwood had. You know what I'm saying? And when he got out of prison, you know, we were working with each other and we were planning, you know, to still kind of give the world, you know, a little bit of us, a little bit of what we had as a contribution to hip hop, to the world. You know, we always spoke about giving back. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is actually part of my mission out here, you know, to do um outreach, you know what I'm saying, to the kids, you know, to be a mentor to the youth out here, you know what I mean? To be a part of reconstructing our neighborhoods and revitalizing our neighborhoods that we tore down. You know what I mean? To embark upon a journey to show that you can go from all negative to positive. And these were the things that we used to always talk about as brothers that, you know what I'm saying, went through, you know what I mean, the street life. Like, we went through that thing without no blemish. You know what I'm saying? Not to brag about it, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, we took a position and we chose to be part of a life that called for you to respect a certain code. You know, and the code of the streets is very, very cold, dog. Them some real cold codes in the street because at the end of the day, if you live in that street life, you know, you got to understand that the game ain't fair. So just being a dude that raised up in the streets and you holding on to a code or you clinging on to a code that a lot of people don't respect is kind of like a slap in the face when you really realize that, man, I'm willing to put it all on the line and I'm ready to, you know what I'm saying? If I have to, I'm willing to die, or you know, if I catch a beef, I'm gonna go lay down, do my beef and come back home, and you know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know, it's hard to find soldiers like that these days and time. Like, we the last of a dying breed, damn near. I'm saying we as my generation. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that changed, you know, since, you know, I left the streets. You know what I'm saying? But like they say, you know what I'm saying? The game is the game. The game don't change, the players do. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about that is when the players change, you know, a mentality change too. So like nowadays, to me, it feels like, you know, it's just a twist on the game. The game is a little bit more watered down nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's why, you know, the OGs, you know, especially the real ones, certain dudes, they kind of move a certain way. You know what I mean? You know, shit different out here, man. But, you know, rest in peace, Lynwood. Man, you're gonna always be in our heart. Man, a true Carol City representative. You know what I'm saying? Unlike some dudes that we know that I'm gonna talk about, I'm gonna expound on a little bit. I don't want to go too long tonight on the jack because like I'm still mourning. I still gotta go to the old boy house, you know what I'm saying, and pay my respects, you know, to Lynwood. But I wanted to really dedicate my last live to Lynwood, but it hit me so hard, you know, emotionally till I couldn't really like cope with it. And I'm still kind of dealing with it now because like I said, after this live, I'm going by the old boy crib to go holler at his dad to see what the funeral arrangements are like. We lost a real one. Man, for every real one that goes, man, 1,000 suckers are born, man. And that's why it's so imperative. That's why it's so important, you know what I'm saying, for us. I'm talking us as the real ones that's left. It is imperative for us as the real ones to try to keep that code, man. Man, I'm looking at a lot of videos now, right? You know, because now I'm into this stuff, man. You know, social media is a beautiful thing. You know, they created an outlet that you can voice or you can reach out to the world and have a conversation with the world, man, based on any subject matter. It's a beautiful thing, you know, that we have social media. And I'm learning, you know, the do's and the don'ts about social media, because social media can help you or it can hurt you. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm looking at like Dirk's situation, man. Man, and you know what, man? After this chip demonstration is over with, after this H.O.E. Adams demonstration, and I'm not calling him man. For those of y'all that are just tuning in, listen, I am not calling the man a H.O.E. hoe, the term that we might classify women as. H.O.E. is only an acronym that is describing the terrible, embarrassing moment that we're having in hip hop now, dealing with Ali Adams. So I'm going to explain this one more time, and I hope that y'all can let it